Hey everybody, it's Matt from Junior Horror Movies, and welcome to another Top 10 Tuesday. This one I am doing my top 10 films to watch during Valentine's Day. Since Valentine's Day is coming right around the corner, I went through my collection, found out some films that are definitely Valentine's Day related, and or they're kind of like got that comedy, romantic, definitely horror theme to it. So these would be good to watch with someone that you love. If you have one, if you don't, they're great to watch by yourself. So, without further ado, let's get on with the list, shall we? Alright, for number 10, I decided to go with kind of more of a horror, comedy, romantic type film. Actually, I got this in a horror pack or whatnot, and I'm like, I'm glad I held off buying it, but then when I got it, I'm like, I'll watch it. Actually, I did not mind it at all. And that's called Burying the Ex. Yes. Got some hot chicks in here. Basically, you have Ashley Greene and Alexandria Diodaro. I like her. She's really cute. Pretty much with Burying the Ex, this guy Elton Yannick plays a horror. He works in a horror store, and he got his girlfriend, and she moves in. Well, all hell breaks loose. She's very controlling. She's very manipulative, and he's not having a good time at all. So, during I think a date or something, she gets hit by a bus and dies. Well, in the meantime, she actually gets sprayed by some weird love potion from the horror shop that Alton works at. Well, he decides to move on, and he falls for this girl that works in an ice cream parlor who wants to has like a horror-related element to it as well. Well, the ex-girlfriend actually comes back from the dead as a zombie and starts to move in back on him and everything. It's got some great funny moments to it. It's got some cool, it's not all gory, it's not all like a complete like zombie film where there's tons of zombies everywhere. She's your main zombie, and it's got some good horror elements to it. It's got some good comedy to it. I think it'll be a fun time to watch during Valentine's. So Burying the Ex, definitely check it out, guys. It's a fun little zom-com type thing. Another romantic comedy horror film with zombies. At number 9, we're doing Shaun the Dead. Shaun the Dead, classic. Can't say anything bad about this. Don't really say much about it either, because everyone knows Shaun the Dead. And pretty much, like they say, it's a romantic comedy with zombies. So it'll be a fun one to watch with a loved one or whatnot. Good old Shaun the Dead, Simon Pegg and them. Number 8. We're going more of a slasher here that takes place on Valentine's Day. That's called Lover's Lane. I never knew about this film. I think I bought it last year or a year before. Someone posted their Valentine's Day slashers, and this was one of them. I'm like, what the hell? Well, this one's kind of neat. It takes place about on Lover's Lane, where people go out and make out and everything. There happens to be a psycho killer with a hook hand. Well, he gets caught, and he's in a psych ward. Well, come to find out, a certain amount of years later, he escapes, and now he's back on a killing spree with this weird hooked hand. And not bad, and of course it takes place around Valentine's Day and everything. So you got yourself a horror slasher here on Valentine's Day. So definitely check out Lover's Lane, guys. It's actually a not bad slasher film on Valentine's. So Lover's Lane at number 7. Number 6. We are going with a newer film. It is a romantic horror film. It's a romantic creature feature. And that is called Spring. I didn't know much about Spring for a while. I just kept passing it up at Best Buy. People were talking about it. I'm like, you know what? Let me pick this up. About an American who's having a bad, him and his girlfriend break up. People are beating him up and everything. He decides, you know what, fuck it. He goes on a trip, to Italy. And during this time, he meets this beautiful one woman. Tries to meet her, and she's very, keep to herself. Doesn't want to be part of him. Well, he starts falling for her. And then later on, she starts falling for him. Well, she has a very dark secret. She's kind of like this long-living creature in a woman's form. And of course, she has to feed and everything. She starts to mutate. Well, during her lifespan, she develops like a serum to help hold back her mutation. So of course he doesn't care. He starts falling for her. The ending was really cool. There's a deleted scene, which I'm glad they did not go for, because I'll be really pissed for the deleted alternate ending. So the proper ending was great. I like how they went with that. So again, this is a romantic creature feature film. So definitely check out Spring, guys. I was actually really surprised on how good it was. Number 5. We're going with a little bit from the 80s. And going with The Possession. Yes. The Possession stars Sam Neill and Isabelle Adjani. Pretty much, they're a couple. They're having some rough time. She ends up making love to a weird tentacle-type creature. So he still loves her. They still try to get together. There is a lot of weird body horror / blood and guts oozing out of people in this film. It's actually very well done. I know there was a special big edition of Possession. I actually have it on another double disc Old Anchor Bay edition DVD. But The Possession's a great one to watch flick with a couple. Again, don't make love to tentacle creatures. I'll just say enough of that. So I had to put Possession on the list. So if you guys never seen Possession, highly recommend checking it out. I thought it was really well done on how it was made. And if you see this big box set, that's the box set right there. That's what it looks like. So yeah, The Possession, had to throw it on the list. So if you've never seen it, pick it up. All right. Number 5 is another Valentine's Day slasher film. There's not that many out there, so you pretty much know there's going to be a bunch of them on this list. And that is Valentine. This one is another slasher that takes place on Valentine's Day. You got David Boreanaz on here, Denise Richards, Mary Shelton, Katherine Heigl. So you got a very good cast crew on this film. Pretty much, a killer wearing this cherub Cupid mask is going on a killing spree against all these girls. They think it's this one nerd, Milton, from high school, where they picked on him, teased him. They pretty much embarrassed him in front of school. He got put in juvie, got put in, and went to psych wards, and now he's escaped, and he's going on this killing spree. Pretty good film. I like this. I saw this in the theater. I liked it a lot. The soundtrack is fantastic. So if you've never seen if you've never heard the soundtrack, it's got some good shit on here. Of course, Denise Richards is freaking hot in this movie, right down to the bikini and everything. So yeah, if you guys never seen Valentine, someday I hope this gets a Blu-ray. Great. All right, number 4 is another Valentine's Day slasher. We got the original My Bloody Valentine. Again, for me, I like the original. I like the remake more, but that's just me. Of course, you got Harry Warden, who was a miner at this mine, and of course, the mine collapses. It goes nuts. Goes on a killing spree. They supposedly arrest him, and now he escapes again through a mental ward from the hospital, and during a Valentine's Day setup, he goes on a killing spree in this mine shaft. So I thought that was pretty cool how they did this. And of course, he doesn't just kill just the teenagers. He goes after some of the adults as well. So Harry Warden, the gas mask killer, fantastic little slasher. This one's from the 80s, 1981 for My Bloody Valentine. So if you have to have the original, gotta go with the remake. And that's at number 3 is My Bloody Valentine, the 3D version. I saw this in the theater in 3D, and I thought the 3D was fantastic. When the pickaxe comes flying at you, you're really dodging it. There's a scene where a guy throws a gun, and you're like dodging that as well. Things are right in your face. So when I saw this in 3D, I loved it. But watching it now in normal 2D, you kind of wish you had that 3D moment, but you get what you get, and I really enjoyed it. Jensen Ackles plays the main character. He comes back to a small town because he's inherited the mine, and of course, supposedly Harry Warden has come back from the grave because there's a killing spree and someone dressed up as Harry Warden in the gas mask. is picking people off one at a time. Different from the original, but also a great slasher in itself that I really like. I know some people didn't like it as much, but again, there's more body count to it. There is the mask itself looks pretty cool versus the original, but again, back to back, both great films. So I highly recommend checking out both My Bloody Valentines. All right, number 2. I'm trying to remember the name of the original of this one. Oh yeah, it's another slasher from the 80s. Excuse me. I don't know where I got that stupid cough. But takes place at a, I think it was a Valentine's Day party. Oh, it was a graduation dance. But they're throwing it for a party in itself. And that is the Prowler, also known as Rosemary's Killer. That's what it was. Pretty much another slasher that kind of similar to My Bloody Valentine. They held off having this parties for so long because of these kills. Well, they decided to throw a party, and somehow this killer is now coming back. This one is garred up in World War II gear. Got a cool net mask. He's got a pitchfork. He's got a bayonet. He's got a bunch of other great little scenes, great little kills. I thought this would be a great little addition to a Valentine's Day party type deal if you want, or get together, or even just watching a slasher on this time. I'm not actually sure it takes place on Valentine's Day because they're talking about graduation parties, but it's very similar to My Bloody Valentine, so I'm throwing it on the list. Why not? It's my list. And number 1, it's another kind of like a romantic comedy. Not comedy, but got that romance to it. It's got that love interest, but it also has a lot of zombies. And that is Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Pretty much, these two couples break into a government plant, and somehow she gets infected with the zombie virus. And the guy that follows her, he loves her no matter what, tries to help her, and even though she is part of the undead, still tries to help find a cure, and sticks with her through thick and thin. It's got that nice romance between the two of them. Even though she wants to eat his brains, he still sticks with her by her side and helps her out. And she's still kind of got that human side to it where she, like, okay, I'm not going to eat your brains. I'll eat someone else's, but you're good to go. And also shows how the government is now weaponizing zombies. How they're putting in like different types of armor, different types of gear on it to put them in the battlefield. So Part 3, I think, is one of the best in the Return of the Living Dead franchise. Like, the first one's the best. I think this one's right there at number 2. And Part 2, for me, is at number 3. So, this is a great one to watch, guys, during Valentine's Day. Yeah. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed my list. Please let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and which ones you probably be watching on Valentine's Day if you are. Or if you're just going to watch a regular horror film, whatever. Or watch whatever you want. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below, and have yourself a good one. Peace.